So Lanny Basham will ask people how much of your sport is mental and how much is physical. And the most common answer is 90% is mental. In my sport, 99% or more is mental.
From it is, it's easier now than it used to be. It would live in me for a while. Like, oh, dude, you forgot the words to that song. And then it becomes a mental block.
Yeah.
Like you get up there and you go,
You know who this is? He's a singer of Metallica.
Oh, okay.
oh shit, like a kicker or something, a guy going to kick and field goal is like, oh, I missed that one, I can't believe I did. Then the next one, oh my god, now it's a thing,
Yeah.
oh,
Mindset.
so getting
see
over
that
those
with
mental
fighters.
blocks. Yeah.
When fighters lose a fight and then they come back and then you can see the
You always have that doubt. It's the same thing of you shoot real well and then you have a bad shoot, and you just question and doubt yourself. The best.
So is he talking about he quit drinking?
Yeah, well, the drinking, he was forgetting song lyrics and making mistakes, and that's what they're talking about here. And for me, I had a couple of weeks where I was shooting 98s, 99s, and should have shot 100. You want to hear about the time, the first time that I should have shot 100, legitimately was going to shoot the 100, but shot a 99? I'm on Station 8. At Station 8, you point almost directly at the house, and you go slightly off. And I mean, you're basically 1 or 2 feet off the wall, level with the house. Mm-hmm. If someone's standing there, you're pointing right at him. Well, the guy right in front of me. Here's what had happened so far. It's raining. We're in 20 gauge, which is a smaller gauge than 12, right? Uh-huh. It's raining. I've just shot 2 perfect boxes in a row. I've shot a third box to the last shot. And then I've got my option. So the last 2 shots, so I'm at shot number 73 in a row, plus whatever I did the previous one, but at least 73 shots in a row. The guy right in front of me is about to shoot, and someone walks out right in front of his gun. I go, John, stop. And he goes, I see it. And he stopped, and we're there, and there's a guy, he's just picking up empty shells, like nickels on the ground. 30, 40, 50 cents worth of shells. He's risking his life completely unaware and just has walked out, which is you never, ever do that.
Right.
And we're standing there longer than this explanation and just waiting for him. And we're getting just emotionally just lit. And, we're aggravated because we're interrupted. We're aggravated because we almost, John almost had to, could have shot the guy. And it would have been the guy's fault, but just all kinds of problems, right? So finally he goes, and then John shoots. I missed that next shot. I lost my headspace, missed that shot. And then I ran all the rest of the shots. Then I hit the next 26 after that. I shot a 99. It would have been my first 100.
That sucks.
Yeah. The whole time. And
did you go find that guy and say, hey, listen?
Thank God I didn't. And there were planes going overhead every 70 seconds. I mean, every station, there was a massive distraction. Rain, all of that. I'm fine. I'm still shooting perfect. It's not until somebody almost dies that screws
that can
up
rattle you.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. And then, so I'm shooting that well, and then I come back and shoot a 92 or something the next week. Mm-hmm. And so it's this, it was what is it? What was I doing last week that I was doing so great, no problem, and then this week I'm all messed up about it. And it's one of the more important things that I was told, and 2 people had told me, was just trust and relax.
Yeah.
So I was, I was off, and then one of the guys I was shooting with, and we're in the 410, which is, tiny, mm-hmm. Hardly any shot coming out, very difficult. And I probably did a 20 or 21 out of 25 in the round. And finally a guy goes, just trust yourself. You know how to do this. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I'm just going to trust myself. Shot a perfect box the next time. This is my first 410 perfect box. I've shot a lot of 24s in 410. 410 is really difficult.
Right.
But shot a perfect box in 410.
So the moral of the story is you need someone to tell you trust,
and
you got it, and you know how to do this.
And it's mindset.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely mindset.
Yeah. And
anything you do is mindset.
So Lanny Basham will ask people how much of your sport is mental and how much is physical. And the most common answer is 90% is mental. In my sport, 99% or more is mental.
Oh, yeah.
It's a complete mental game. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's every single time it's a challenge, and every single time I learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And just yesterday, I was there and I didn't pay attention on an 8. I started taking 7s and 8s for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it the baseline. So, because the field is a circle and then there's a line and there's 3 stations along that line.
Right.
Station 1, Station 8, and Station 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a heck of a time on baseline.
I've been there with you, so I actually can visualize this.
And so the baseline stations are kind of their own thing, and then 2 and 6 are their own thing, and then 3, 4, and 5 are their own thing.
Right.
And I mean, just 3, 4, and 5 have been remarkably easy for me lately. And I've been really, really good on 2. 6 has been a little bit harder, but even lately, I'm nailing all the 6s. And then yesterday, I was like, oh, I got the baseline again. Like suddenly, the baselines are all back and easy again. Mm-hmm. And then I took an 8 for granted and lost a high 8. And I was like, I know better than that. You know, it's to find that perfect amount of enough, but not too much of the effort and exactly what to do correctly. Mm-hmm. That's the game.
So this coming week, what are you shooting for?
So this coming week, I'm shooting apparently in California. Mm-hmm. There's 2 championships. There's a Southern California championship, and then the following week, a Northern California championship. So I am.
So you're gonna be down by LA first, and then you're gonna go back
be at LA Clays.
Okay.
On this weekend, and then I'm going to be at Stockton Rod and Gun on the following weekend. Southern California first, then Northern California. And I am currently in the top. I think I'm number 24 in my age group concurrent, as far as All-American points, which I would be an All-American in that concurrent if I had started competing before June. I've only been doing this for 3 or 4 months, and I'm that close. And so I've got to ride this out and do really well, every week for the rest of the year to try and get in there. If I wish I'd realized and known that I could compete. What do you have to be,
top 10 or?
You have to be in the top 20, but then I think 20 through 30 get honorable mentions.
Okay.
But I want to be in the top 20.
Okay.
I'm already number 1 in class. So there's 3 levels. There's class, there's your concurrent, and then there's open, which open is the top.
Yeah.
In open, I have 1.2 points.
Okay.
In my concurrent, which is age group, I have like 558 points.
Oh, wow.
And that's the one I'm in the top 30. Now, I'm actually technically number 34, but certain other people have not shot enough targets to qualify. But if they do, and especially if they have because this was an October 1st deal, and if a lot of those people had shot Worlds and are getting their targets in by the end of the year, I still got to beat them.
Okay.
So, assuming that everybody in front of me does shoot their minimums, then I still have to beat at least 5 more people.
Okay.
But most people have stopped shooting for the year. They're not going to shoot in the cold. They're not going to, and it starts getting difficult to shoot at this point in time. And California is going to probably be warmer. But even yesterday was like, oh, what happened to nice? Because we went from hot, dying hot, to cold.
Yeah.
Where was nice? I don't know where nice went.
Yeah.
I think I had one shoot where it was like 80 degrees. But yesterday it was overcast, cold, and windy as heck.
Yeah.
But strangely, the worse the wind got, the better I was shooting. And we had the low house yesterday. We'd have one going up to the moon.
Yeah.
And we'd have one going down to the dirt.
Right.
From shot to shot. and it was just all because of wind. And I did shoot a perfect box the last round that we did.
But you want to eventually do Olympic shooting, correct?
So yes, that's a different sport.
Oh, it is.
In American Skeet, you can line up mounted,
Okay.
and we do. So we mount and hold to a point, call for the bird. When we see the bird, at that moment, we see the flash out of the window, we start moving, and we do what's called sustained lead and take the bird at certain points on the field. In international skeet, which is Olympic skeet, you have to start with the gun has to be your vest has a mark on it where your elbow hits your side, and there's a line. Your gun some part of your gun has to be below that line when you start.
Okay.
And so you call pull. You can't mount until the bird leaves the house. You see it leave, you mount and shoot. Much more difficult.
Yeah.
The birds are 30% faster. And in American skeet, when we say pull, it's immediate. Olympic skeet can be anywhere from immediate to up to a 3-second delay.
Which, if
So
you're
it's harder.
going from here, you really do need that delay, right?
No,
No.
because you can't move until you see the bird.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So the bird
makes
leaves
it
the house,
difficult.
you mount and shoot it, and it's 30% faster than American skeet.
Wow.
So my objective was do this world championship and then switch to Olympic. But I'm thinking that I need to go another year focusing purely on American skeet and then start Olympic next year.
Okay.
Plus, the equipment is ridiculously expensive because I can't use the current gun that I have. My gun is designed for American skeet. It's heavy, and so it's not designed for these quick mounts. I need a lighter, different type of gun, and
we know those guns are not cheap.
yeah, they cost more than my cars.
Oh, geez.
So, I think I need at least one more year before I
Yeah.
do
Probably
that.
need to save up too.
Yeah. And I'm, and probably it would be different ammo that I would use for that. So, but I do intend, maybe sometime between now and the end of the year or the first quarter of next year, I do intend to at least take a lesson from Vincent Hancock, who was the gold medalist in Olympic skeet, and talk to him so that I can ramp up. I think it's a better idea for me to plan and ramp up rather than jump right into it.
Right.
So I think if I plan that for a year of how I'm going to do that and look and just take that time, I think that will better serve me.
So is he different from Lanny and them? You go to
Yeah, because he shoots international
Oh, okay.
and he teaches,
Didn't
teaches
Lanny
international.
shoot international?
Lanny shot rifles,
Oh, okay.
not shotguns.
Okay.
Lanny put holes in pieces of paper from a
Okay.
long distance away.
Okay.
I blast clay targets out of the air.
Okay. So what did Tom? Is it Tom?
Todd,
Todd. Yeah.
American Skeet.
So he is who taught you American Skeet.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, him and Lanny
Okay.
together. Lanny does the mindset stuff, and Todd is the technical coach.
Yeah.
And I've taken more lessons with Todd than Lanny, like a few.
Yeah.
I think I had 2 extra days with Todd, or three extra days with Todd than I have with Lanny.
So did Todd win in Olympic?
Todd competed in international for a couple of years a while ago, I think. But he competed just in American Skeet.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And
Okay.
he shot with Wayne Mays. And Wayne Mays did 200 perfect 100s in the 410.
Oh, wow.
That's his record.
yeah.
And I think he may have done it in a row, but I've actually had that question for the past day since yesterday, because I actually read his obituary and read that one statistic about him last night. And so I want to ask Todd if that was consecutive or just career. I suspect it was consecutive, but either way,
Yeah, it's amazing.
200 perfect 410s,
Wow.
perfect hundreds. I'm still trying to get my first. I just got my first 25.
Yeah.
And that's taken me, pretty much a year. I'm basically right at a year.
Yeah.
So
oh, you're doing really good.
And competition wise, I've really only been competing. Let's see, June, July, August, September, 4.5 months.
Yeah.
So I'm doing in 4.5 months. I'm beating people that have been working for 10 months.
Yeah. Or probably some people.
Well,
maybe longer.
Their scores for all 10 months versus my scores for 4.5.
That's
points wise.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And where
That's why I have to work my ass. That's why I'm going every weekend.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't want to leave town now. I want to stay with Summer.
Yeah.
I don't want to be going to this.
Yeah. Take Summer with you.
She can't or won't, and we don't have a dog sitter this week.
Oh.
You want to come take care of the dogs?
Yeah.
Bring the kids. Bring your dog is fine. Y'all come stay over here. Take care of the
My
dog
dog doesn't like other dogs. That's the problem.
Just separate them.
My dog thinks he's a chicken, but when it comes to other dogs, he thinks he's got Napoleon syndrome.
Oh.
He thinks he's big and bad.
Well, that may be necessary because otherwise he gets, could you imagine being that much smaller than everybody else around you?
So
you'd have to be like, I'm here. Don't step on me.
This is funny. So he was out in the backyard, and you've seen our backyard. We have a wrought iron fence, and then we have a walking trail that's right behind our house. Well, you can see the dog that's adjacent to us. I don't know what kind of dog. He's some type of terrier, but he's tall. He's like a big brown terrier type dog. Anyway, and he's really sweet. And TJ gets bent out of shape, barks, freaks out when he sees him. So I'm out on the walking trail with Daniel, and Daniel was they trimmed our trees back there, and Daniel was picking up some big old pieces of wood that they didn't grind up. And I see the dog, and I walk over there, and I start petting the dog. My dog literally had a conniption fit. He flipped out, and then as I came back in, I went to petting him like that at me.
Wow.
Like, no, don't even touch me. It's like all bent out of shape. It was hilarious. But no, he doesn't like other dogs. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Well,
every time I take him for a walk, if he sees a dog, he tries to go at it. And I mean, teeth showing the whole 9 yards. But loves people. Wants people to pet him.
Weird.
I think he thinks he's a human.
Maybe.
He sleeps with the kids. He does everything with them. If you hug on the kids, he's wanting you to pick him up and hug him too. It's the whole, I think he thinks he's one of the kids.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
He does human type characteristics. I mean, it's funny. This morning he was staring at me like, what? And he was like he was trying to talk to me. I was like, okay. If I talk to him, he crooks his head back and forth at me. It's hilarious. He's funny.
The discomfort. You can see the confusion and the fear, and that's one of the hard. I think psychological issues are some of the hardest issues that people ever overcome, and it's just literally like a pattern of thought in your mind.
Yep.
But if you just decide that you're not as good as you used to be, you can manifest that.
Yep.
Even though physically you can do all the same things.
Exactly.
It is so crazy. The power of thought, the power of my mind is pretty dangerous at times. And being creative, I make up all kinds of crap. Lars is doing that just to fuck with me. I know it. And then you talk with him later. It's like, what are you talking about?
He has no idea what you're saying.
What? Yeah, that's pretty. It's a curse and a gift, that creativity.